Full disclosure, the voice you are listening to now is artificially generated, brought to you by satisphonic.com. See the link in the description for more details. What's a video game that will forever be in your heart, no matter what age you reach? Rollercoaster Tycoon edit. Love to see all the rock fans. How about the fact this game used to come in boxes of cereal? Anyone remember those glory days? Taught me how to run a business and remove naysayers. We have a special ride for the naysayers. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. That soundtrack was top 5 video game soundtracks of all frickin' time. Sim City. That soundtrack was top 5 video game soundtracks of all frickin' time. Portal and Portal 2 for sure. 7 Golden Eye. Third year university, Friday nights, 2 large Pizza Hut pizzas, stuffed crust meat lovers. 4 of us, and an N64 with 4 controllers we rented from the Blockbuster downstairs. Grenade launchers in the temple, forever etched in my brain. Edit. I love how everyone who's played this game has their fave multiplayer config, and there's so many iterations. Pistols only, license to kill, and no picking odd job at the last second Tyler, you have cheater. Skyrim, and Knight of the Old Republic. Skyrim kept me sane in probably what was my deepest depression. Down bad, just very little hope for life, and this silly little video game kept my mind busy, kept me interested and engaged in something for a little while. Oregon Trail, the OG video game. Donkey Kong Country, such a beautiful game. Soundtrack is top-notch. Duck Hunter. Star Wars Battlefront 2 2005 classic. I have fond memories of playing it with my dad around 10 or 11 years ago. It strikes joy in my heart each time I boot it up and play. Me and him used to boot it up and play. Me and him used to boot it up on our PlayStation 2 and would sit down and play it for hours. We'd do Galactic Conquest, Instant Action, and the campaign. All we had so much fun with. Edit. W for more info. I am 17 years old. Me and my dad played this when I was around 6 or 7 at the time. The very first video game I ever played was The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. I was 4 years old when I first played it, and I'll always love it. Super Mario 64, Spyro 1, Spyro 2, Spyro 3. I become 10 again when I hear any route or town theme from Pokemon Red, Blue and Yellow. One of my local weed shops plays various old-school video game shop music now and then. They had the Pokemon music from Red and Blue playing one day, and I got a little misty-eyed. Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, Sly Cooper series, Minecraft, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. This was my first ever Zelda. They had a GameCube and Zelda collection bundle around 20,032,000 for Christmas time. I remember playing Smash Bros and my brother and cousins always liked Link, and so he was naturally my favorite too. I remember writing to Santa and taking to my parents about Zelda every day for like 3 months leading up to Christmas. I was lucky enough to open up the GC on Christmas morning. When I originally started it, I would call and talk to my older and favorite brother, who was enlisted in the USMC, and give him updates and ask for his help. I don't know what he was going through in life at the time. It was 911 and I was a kid, but he always would listen and made me feel important. Whenever he had a chance to come home, he'd help me play and to overcome my fears, Kakariko Village well, and give me moral support when fighting my first bosses, etc. My brother was soon deployed to Afghanistan, and I remember playing Oot late into the night, thinking about what he's doing overseas and how much I missed him. I remember thinking that I had to beat this game before he came back home from deployment, because he'd be so proud of me, and it'd be one of the many things I can fill him in on. I was in 4th grade. Sadly, I never got the chance to catch up with my brother as he passed away. I recall random phone calls throughout the day from my brother overseas, which seemed to have no rhyme or reason to it, and my parents would always be the ones to speak with him if they were lucky enough to pick up. Whenever I hear the Kakariko Village, the Lost Woods, or Kokairo Forest music, I always get taken back to that time in my life with my brother. This game helped me to come to terms with a lot of new feelings in my life, like sadness and anger. I remember thinking that Link's just a 10-year-old boy like me, and look how brave and strong he's been, even after leaving so much of his life behind him. I guess now that I'm writing this, I can see how I may have thought of Link as my brother, or maybe a mix of us both. There's a lot of parallels and intricacies I can't really put into words as I'm getting ready for work, and I don't want to feel sad this early. Hopefully you get the idea what I'm trying to say, and why this is also my favorite game. Tar, Vice City, and San Andreas. For me, it's just GTA in general. I've played every version since I think GTA 2. I bought us 3 just to play GTA Eve, and bought us 4 just to play GTA V. I'm turning 50 this year, and can't wait for GTA V, and will buy whatever piece is available then. World of Warcraft, it consumed so many hours of my 20s. I've got memories of so many raids and our late night conversations. There was drama and romance. 2 of my guildmates got married. One of them faked his own death, then pretended to be his own son, then got caught and admitted to it all. Some of them actually grew up in our guild. The game itself was great, but the social aspect made it an amazing time. Hello, Combat Evolved. Crash Bandicoot. Monkey Island. Chrono Trigger. Half-Life. Kingdom Hearts. Even though the franchise has been on some bullshit for years now, the first one will always be special to me. Tetris. Super Mario World. Diablo 2. The Sims franchise. Banjo-Kazooie. The Elder Scrolls, i.e. Morrowind, Knights of the Old Republic, StarCraft, and Jet Set Radio Future. Final Fantasy V. Oblivion, Fallout, New Vegas, Fallout 4, Skyrim, Mass Effect Trilogy, Halo.